Tokayo Dick, Mr. President, hindi niya ba titignan niya kung talagang tama yung ginawa niya?
We are conducting a probe, Your Honor, but our probe is procedural, not punitive.
Hindi pa forensic.
We're not capable, Your
Can
Honor.
you ask the NBI already to conduct the probe para sigurado na tayo?
We are already being probed by the NBI, Your Honor.
No, yan specifically. You cannot probe everything. You have to make a statement. Pag may nahuli tayo na malaki at nahuli, matatakot na iba dyan, di ba?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Ganun yan eh. Yes, Dr. Roy.
Your Honor, I would like to say something about this. We had these anti-fraud measures, and during my stint, we installed this machine learning identification detection.
Sino ang previous director dyan? Sino ang regional director dyan sa Eastern Samar? Kung saan ba pinakamahirap, doon pa niyayari. Oh. Mahirang lugar yan. That's a very poor area. Sino ang regional director dyan, Aro? Yes?
Sir, your question, bakit dun sa mababa, level 3?
Oo.
Kasi sir, yung mga primary hospital sa Maynila, may monthly audit kami kung nagkakamali kami ng diagnosis. Who's gonna audit you kung ikaw ay nasa probinsya? Ikaw medical director, ikaw rin ang doktor, ikaw lahat.
Wala nag-audit sa'yo.
Walang mag-audit sa'yo. In urban hospital, monthly, kung nagkakasala ka, ikaw ay accountable to the chairman of...
Di ba? Kung namatay,
Yes,
di
kung
ba?
mali ang diagnosis mo.
That sounds like a problem for Dr. Duque. Dr. Duque, di ba dapat lahat ng mga ganyan, titingnan nyo yung mga procedures ng hospital? Department of Health kayo, you are the guardian of health in this country. Tataka tayo, ang laki-laki ng pneumonia cases dyan, babayaran ng PhilHealth. Yung sinasabi ni Dr. Liachon, do you check, di ba, you are the medical director, you are the doctor, kung ano yung bigay mo, wala kang accountability whatsoever. Di ba dapat Secretary of Health, Department of Health should immediately assist right away?
Unless a complaint is raised to the DOH, kasi under regulatory authority ng
Bureau of Hospitals, di ba?
the health regulatory service, health facilities and regulatory services.
Sir,
SRDB.
di ba kayo nagsiset ng standards ng hospital?
Yes, tama po yun.
So kung yung sinasabi
Pati
ni
lisensya.
Dr. Liachon, there is that protocol so that the standards are always up and you keep going up, di ba? Kung merong hospital na pinapayagan kayong ganyan, tapos you sit in the board of PhilHealth, di ba dapat makikita natin yan? Kami nakita namin, ang laki-laki niya, no? 2 hospital sa Eastern Samar, ang laki-laki. Tapos, wala yung post-mortem or post-event study, then I think I would take action if I were the Department of Health. I will call in right away the Bureau of Hospitals, is that what you call it? It's hospital standards, and take a look at that hospital. Tama po ba yan?
Tama ho yun. I think the regional DOH, Region 8, has the capacity to do that, provided it has to work with PhilHealth, and PhilHealth in 2018 has laid out a system. This is the machine learning fraud detection, identification, detection, and analysis system. That is why it was possible for PhilHealth to identify these outliers. Now,
You know, when you talk like that,
sir.
you lose my attention.
Okay, sir. I'm sorry.
You really lose my attention because ang tinatanong ko, gumalaw kayo. Kalugin mo yung mga doktor. Alampagin mo, tawagin mo, bakit ganyan? Regional Director, anong ginagawa mo dyan?
Usually
I will
kasi,
call you later. Go ahead.
Usually kasi, Mr. Chairman, yung mga ganitong red flags na huhuli ito doon sa data na nakikita, doon po sa sinabi ko yung MIDAS, yung fraud detection. So, na-flag yan at dapat that should signal, magiging signal po ito sa PhilHealth na puntahan yan. Dahil obvious 20 bed, puros pneumonia, ganito kalaki ang binayad ng PhilHealth, may problema kayo rito. So, puntahan yan.
All right, my question now is, when was this detected? When did you first see these figures? And who saw it? Yes, Roberto Salvador. Yung isa Salvacion, ito Salvador. Parang kayo Savior, ah. Sige.
Sir, merong data ang PhilHealth about the number of claims of pneumonia
Aha.
kaysa CIO. Meron kasi kami tinatawag na Health Information Data Analytic Committee. So during the time of Inday, kinreate namin to kasi nakita nga namin na tumataas ang case ng pneumonia. And ang reason bakit tumataas ang mga casing natin, nung naupo kami, nakita namin na wala palang chart submission. Na hindi po humingi ang PhilHealth ng chart sa mga sakit
Mga charts.
Yes. So wala pong way para makita kung talaga bang pneumonia yan, AGE yan, dengue, or UTI. So kaya po ang ginawa namin kaagad, binalik namin yung chart review dun sa 4 na common
Ngayon,
diseases.
bumaba na ba yan?
Sir, nung binalik namin yan 2007, drastically nakita
That's
namin
what I mean. Bumaba yan ngayon dahil kinurek nyo.
Pero ang problem, sir, maraming magagaling na doktor. Doon sa mga sakit naman na hindi namin binabantayan, doon naman tumaas, sir.
Saan yun? Halimbawa?
For example, yung hyperactive airway, debridement. So, doon sa mga binantayan namin sakit, bumaba, pero naghanap sila ng ibang diagnosis na hindi namin binabantayan. Kaya ngayon po, with Dr. Roy, meron kaming tinatawag na CF4.
Sounds like you need a group with the Philippine Medical Association, ethics, and Department of Health, PhilHealth, NBI para ma-solve yan.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me,
Thank you.
Yes, Roy. Roy, go ahead. Quickly,
Yes, sir. Ituloy ko lang po yung sinabi ni Dr. Salvador, no, with regards this MIDAS and HIDAC system. Actually, mapinpoint po natin yung spikes, kung ano yung mga different conditions na inaabuso yung claims. At hindi lang po yun, nakikita rin ho natin kung anong hospital o kusang region, hospital, at ang doktor na nagkukumito nito. Kagaya po ng isang sample po na CS, cesarean section, sa isang lugar, nakita ho namin na madalas ang cesarean section sa Nueva Ecija.
Pumasok yung cesarean section naman.
Yes, oh.
Can you go to Nueva Ecija, please? Cesarean section.
So, yung kwan po, wala na pong limit ang cesarean section. In fact, yung dapat normal delivery, nagsi-CSO kagad. So, nag-spike ko doon. So, makikita ko namin yung region, and then nakita ko namin yung hospital, at na-trace namin rin po yung doktor. So, ngayon, ang kailangan nun natin i-follow up sa fact-finding investigation para kumuha tayo ng ebidensya. Yun ang ginagawa ko namin ngayon, actually, na nakikita na ho namin yung mga...
Okay, pag nakita nyo ganyan kataas ang spike at hindi may paliwanag, palit na kagad yung regional, yung vice president dyan, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Now, ang tanong ko sa inyo, magkano ginagastos? I never ask a question I don't know the answer for. I just want you to verify. Magkano ginagastos ng PhilHealth weekly?
2 to 3 billion per week benefit payout po sa ating healthcare providers.
Benefit payout, 3.4 billion a week.
2 to 3 billion pesos po.
Sa akin, 3.4 billion a week.
3.4.
Sorry, 3 to 4 billion.
Yes, yes.
3 to 4 billion a week. I don't know if any government entity can spend as much as you guys do. So therefore, dapat man-to-man guarding tayo dyan. And to me, that is one of our going to be our recommendations. Senator Lacson, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And this may be connected to overpayment and overcharges and overcharging. I wonder if Secretary Duque or President Morales or anybody for that matter have heard of rediscounting of claims. Ito, medyo rampant ito, particularly in Region 8.
I'm
Say
sorry.
kung merong claims na, alimbawa, amounting to 100 million, bibili nila ng 80 million. And that could be the reason why there's a lot of overcharging and overpayment. Kasi nawiwili yung mga nagpipinance dyan. I wonder if you heard about that. Anybody? Dr. Liachon?
Sir, I heard about it. Well, narinig ko yan, Senator Lacson. In fact, pumunta sa opisina yung whistleblower niya when I was nung nasa kaak ako. Pumunta siya at sinabi niya na ayaw siyang bayaran. Kung hindi babayaran siya, kunyari, ang claims ay 80 million, 70 million, kailangan maglagay ka ng 7 million. Kung hindi kita babayaran. So, ang nangyayari, siyempre, palalaki mo yung delayed claims mo. Di ba? So, para kabayaran. Yan ay dokumentado sa lower house. At meron kaming minutes yan sa executive session. Ang nangyari pa nga yan, to tell you honestly,
7 million? 7 million?
yes sir.
Sino yan?
Sir, it's in the minutes that
No, you're here. Privileged itong communication niya rito.
Just go to the minutes.
Just quote the minutes.
it's in the minutes is not with me.
But you know about it, right?
Right, because it is it's a resolution coming from Congressman Harry Roque.
Oh.
Congressman Harry Roque, Resolution House 767, introduced by Secretary Roque to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation of alleged corruption and irregularities in the operation.
Get to the point, please.
Ang inimbestigahan, sir, to, I will submit this, sir.
Let me get to the point.
Okay.
Saan mo? Saan yung tamang lugar?
Okay. Si Dr. Francis Lopez, based on this document, kumakain siya sa St. Luke's BGC. Nilapitan siya ng isang doktor, nagkangalan Dr. David Goseng Fiao. Andyan siya ngayon.
Yes, sir. Maybe we should hear from Dr.
Goseng
Goseng Fiao because siya mismo yung involved eh. Yung 7 million, di ba?
Sige,
Doctor.
mag-overview ka muna.
Okay.
Dahil ko si Goseng Fiao.
Pagkatapos nun, si Dr. Francis Lopez, kinabahan. Sabi niya, email ko kay Tony, baka may mangyari sa akin.
Sino Tony?
Ako, sir.
Ikaw ba yan?
Kasi akong vice chair ng kaak.
Ako si Eddie ka.
Hindi, sir.
Sige, go ahead.
In-email niya sa akin, para sa ganun, in-email niya sa akin yung kwento. Kinuwento niya, sir, then email it to
Ang
himself.
hihingi na 7 million, tinataasan nila yung bayad para merong 7 million yun ang hihingi. Tama?
Yan.
Okay,
Oh.
let's go talk to Dr. Goseng Fiao.
Yeah. Dr. Goseng Fiao, please.
Kung magbanang mo ba si Senator Go?
Please narrate your
Hindi.
Please narrate your personal experience para direct from the horse's mouth.
Huwag naman, horse. You've been sworn to already, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Dr.
Sige,
Goseng
please.
Fiao.
Sir, actually, kagabi tinawagan po ako ni
You may sit down.
Dr. Tony.
Lapit ka
And
lang
he
ho yung
asked me to
microphone.
make a short presentation. So I made one, if it's okay with
Sige,
have a
please,
presentation?
go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead, para for clarity.
Sige.
Bigyan mo na lang dito sa staff ko.
Naswear na kayo, no? Naswear na? Nakita ko siya. Nakita ko siya kayo na.
Mr. Chairman, hanggang hindi tayo tumitigil ng inquiry dito sa PhilHealth, hindi maubos ang anomalies.
That's correct. I am aware of that. But this is a very big
You
mark.
keep
No?
on
7
coming.
million? Wow. For a company that is spending 3.5 billion a week, or 3 to 4 billion.
And mind you, during the DBCC briefing a while ago, this morning, we found out that PhilHealth is one of the top
Spenders.
GOCCs na sinasubsidize ng government.
Correct.
Pinakamalaking subsidy ng gobyerno, PhilHealth.
I already said kung magkano yung kanila nakukuha. I think this year it's 69 billion.
And here we are, hearing so many anomalies, monies going into the pockets of a few, di ba? Hindi ba nakakagalit yan, Mr.
Can we
Chairman?
have NBI? Magpakulong naman kayo, NBI. Ano ba yan? Katawagin pa kayo. Huli na kayo palagi. Ha?
Ayan, Dr. Goseng Fiao, please.
Sir, I'd like to begin, sir, with a background.
Sandali lang ha. I understand you were also investigated. Para level playing field tayo. You were also investigated, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so go ahead and proceed.
Sir, kaya nga sir, I'll give you a background first on how things happened. Okay. Actually, the whole issue is PhilHealth is defrauding doctors. Baliktad ho yung ginagawa ninyo. Yung in-investigate nyo, doctor ang nagdi-defraud ng PhilHealth. Baliktad ho.
Hindi ko sinabi yun. Ang sinabi ko kanina, kasasabi ko lang collusion.
No, no.
Let
I would
me,
say it works both ways.
Correct.
Yes,
Collusion
sir.
lahat yan eh.
but ito po yung background niyan.
Go ahead.
Can you please forward it?
Mali naman yung pasok mo kagad.
Ay, pasensya po kayo.
Sige.
Kasi nga, ito ho yung background niyan para lang ho maging klaro.
Yeah, I have a TV here. Go ahead.
For disclosure lang po, I already have 5 cases pending before the Court of Appeals, and I already filed a case against PhilHealth and the Philippine Academy of Ophthalmology, as well as, syempre, hindi man PhilHealth yung criminal, yung mga tao sa PhilHealth. Kinasuhan ko na rin po yan.
Sige,
And
go
the
ahead.
case is pending in DOJ. Can we move forward? So actually po kasi, kung titignan nyo relationship, simple lang ho yan eh. Doktor, pasyente, bibigyan ng serbisyo ng pasyente, babayad yung pasyente sa doktor. Ang PhilHealth po, insurance po yan. Pagka ang ginawa ko ng PhilHealth, tumanggap ng pera galing sa pasyente, sa member, can you move it forward, just one? So, may kontrata po yan dun sa member. So, tumanggap siya ng premium. Can you please move it forward? Tumanggap po siya ng premium. In return, dapat i-cover ng PhilHealth yung gagastusin niya.
Pag nagkasakit siya.
Nagkasakit siya.
Sige.
Tapos, kami naman, kami provider, may kontrata din po sa amin. So, hiwalay po yung kontrata namin. Ang kontrata sa amin, pauutangin po namin ng PhilHealth ng serbisyo namin. Can you move it forward? Medyo, ayan. Kami ho, yun ang kontrata, pauutangin namin, tapos ang guarantee ho ng PhilHealth, babayaran po kami.
At least pinapaunahan nyo yung gastos. Hindi
Yes, pinapaunahan ho namin yung gastos. So, gumagastos ho kami. Ang problema ho kasi, pagka binayaran kami, okay sana. Kaya lang ho, hindi ho kami binabayaran.
Humahaba ang bayad.
Hindi lang humahaba, hindi binabayaran. Maraming
Binabayaran.
denied, maraming RTH, return to hospital, ibig sabihin hindi namin babayaran, hindi nila babayaran. Maraming mga hindi lang binayaran, basta lang nawala.
Sige,
Ganun.
okay.
So, ano mangyayari ngayon sa amin pag nangyari yun? Hindi ho kami pwede sumingil sa pasyente. Nasa IRR po yan. So kami, lugi ho kami pag hindi kami binayaran. So ang nangyayari po, PhilHealth ho, panay-panay ho ang ganyan. Maghahanap ng dahilan para wag magbayad, kawawa naman ho kami mga doktor.
Hanggang may lalapit sa'yo bigla. Gusto mo mabayaran, magbigay ka sa akin.
Parang ganun po.
Party tayo, hati tayo. Ganun ba yan?
Parang ganun po. Pero
Ano
sa
parang
akin, ho, ang
ganun?
nangyari
Ganun
po
ba
sa
o
akin,
hindi?
mas komplikado pa ho doon.
Mas-
Kasi ho,
tuloy,
sa akin
isa
po,
mo.
ang nangyari, can you move it forward? Ang dapat po kasi nangyayari dyan, pagka hindi kami babayaran, pagka i-deny yung claim, kasi yung claim ng pasyente yun eh. Pag dinenay po ng PhilHealth yung claim, dapat bayaran pa rin ho kami kasi hindi kami pwede sumingil eh. Tapos PhilHealth ang sisingil sa pasyente, yun po yung sinasabi nyo kanina, kukolektahin galing sa, babawiin yung bayad galing sa doktor o kaya sa pasyente. Hindi po pwede sa doktor bawiin yung bayad kasi po, services rendered po yun. Dapat to pasyente yung sisingilin. Ang nangyayari ho, hindi na kami babayaran, kakasuhan pa ho kami. Can you move it forward? So yun ho yung nangyayari. Nadi-defraud ho kami dahil ayaw kami bayaran, tapos hindi na pwede singilin. Tapos nilang ho yun, kakasuhan pa ho kami. So gagastos kami sa isang katutak, napakahirap po ng dinaanan namin. Lugi kami doon. So, can you move it forward? Just one. So, ang daming mga dahilan talaga na iniimbento ng PhilHealth. Walang OR technique, yung gamot, yung non-PNDF drug na tinatawag. Minsan, walang dahilan, basta lang i-deny nila, case not compensable. Paano kung non-compensable? Nasa, nasa listahan naman. Walang dahilan, di mo alam. So, refile ka lang ng refile. Tapos minsan, nawawala na lang yun. Diba? In my case po, inimbentuhan ho ako ng kaso ng PhilHealth. Ang pinataw po sa amin, nag-violate daw kami ng PAO Code of Ethics. Private society po, gumawa ng mga sariling rules niya, tapos gumawa sariling rules, tapos ang PhilHealth naman, nakakontsaba sa kanila. Naghanap ng dahilan, ginawang dahilan yun, ay, nag-violate ka ng Code of Ethics ng PAO, hindi ka namin babayaran. Hindi lang yun, kakasuhan ka pa. Yun ho yung nangyari sa akin. Can you move forward? Kaya ho nagkaroon ng investigation noong 2015 sa Senate. At dun pa lang ho, sinabi ko na po yun, na hindi pwedeng ganun, anti-competitive ho yun. Yung ganun. Kasi private lang ho yung, private lang yan eh. Yung PAO eh. Ba't sinusundan yung mga rules nila? Pwede ako gumawa ng rules ko, ba't hindi na susundan? So it was actually a competition issue. Ang nangyari ho, kami yung nagsisilbi ng universal eye health care. Lahat ho, tinignan namin, libre check-up, libre test. Pag-opera, mababa lang singil namin. Kung ano lang bibigyan ng PhilHealth, tatanggapin ho namin yun. So, sa makatwid, yung mga matataas sumingil, nauubusan ng pasyente, kaya sila gumawa ng sariling rules nila para bawal yun. Bawal yung manlibre, bawal mag-tie up sa mga sa local government, bawal mag-advertise, ayun yun, pinawalan niyan. Eh, ang PhilHealth naman, dahil nakikontsaba sila, o sige, bawal yan, di ka namin babayaran dahil libre yung check-up. Can you move forward?
Can you come to the point, please?
Yes,
We
sir.
know already the racket. I
Yes.
think we have a pretty good idea. What happened to you?
Yes, I'll go forward. No? So, ang nangyari ho dyan, pinatawan po ako ng stop claims. Ibig sabihin nun, hinawakan yung pera ko. Napakalaki ho nun, milyon-milyon po yun.
Anong hinawakan ng pera mo? May utang, hindi ka binabayaran to the
Hindi ko
amount
binayaran.
of, to the amount of, in the amount of
Roughly around 40 million.
40 million.
Yes, sir.
Binibiting-biting ka, lumaki ng 40 million. Tapos tinatawag ka, anong ginawa?
Tapos so, nakipag-meeting sa amin yung taga PhilHealth.
Sino?
Si...
You know, we're watching your demeanor.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because, bigla-bigla lang to eh. I remember. Si Attorney Asuncion.
Attorney Asuncion.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Nakipag-meeting siya sa amin. And then, sabi niya sa akin, ganyan-ganyan, hindi ka babayaran, magpatagal pa yan. Tapos, in fact, magpa-file na kami ng mga criminal charges sa'yo, ganyan-ganyan. E di syempre, kabado na ako. Hinawakan na nga pera ko. And then after that, they reached out to me na they want, at first sabi 2 million. Sabi ko, parang matapos na to. Kikil to eh. Wala na akong magagawa. Kakasuhan ako, pakukulong ako. Wala naman akong ginawa masama. Ito lang ang nangyari. Violation of private code of ethics. Tapos
The long and the short of it is, umabot ng gano'n ang hiningi niya.
long and short, umabot ng 7M.
10 million ang hinihingi.
7 po. 7.
7 million.
Yes, sir.
Sa 40 million na dapat kang bayaran, babayaran ka, pero meron siyang 7 million.
Yes, sir. Pauna po yun.
Pauna, may pangalawa pa.
Hindi ho. Ibig sabihin ho nun, labas muna bago...
Ilabas mo muna bago kita bayaran in full.
Yes, sir.
Money down.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ano nangyari?
Siyempre, walang lumabas.
So, anong ginawa mo? Nag-comply ka ba?
Galit na po ako. So nakita kami ni Francis sa St. Luke's. Sabi ko sa kanya,
St. Luke's,
sabi ko sa kanya, ano ba naman yung ginagawa nyo? Kinikikilan ako ng mga tao mo, tapos wala kayong ginagawa.
Francis Lopez?
Illegal po lahat ng ginagawa niyo sa akin.
Dr. Francis Lopez, siya po doktor sa dugo na chairman ng CAAC na nag-hospital sa St. Luke's at Makati Med.
Wow. O, sige, go ahead.
Sir, illegal naman lahat ng ginawa sa akin. Yung kaso sa akin, illegal. Tinawag akong fraud. Ginawa akong tanga dito sa lahat ng tao. Sa buong Pilipinas, tinawag akong fraudster. Tapos,
Okay, so lumalabas, pinifreeze na po ang pera sa inyo. Pagka pinapagod kayo, nire-wrestle kayo hanggang sa sabihin sa inyo, itong bayad mo. Kung hindi mo
Yes,
mabayad,
sir.
hindi na mababayaran.
yes, sir.
Now, to your knowledge, to kayo, Dick, is there, are there other cases that you know of that, like this? Any of you here? Mr. Del Rosario, are you aware of other cases like this?
No, sir. I'm aware of some facts that was testified to by Doc David, no, regarding the cases.
You're aware of that case?
I'm aware of the cases.
Oh, sige.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, please.
Dr. Gosim Chiao, sino yung CORSEC noon nung nag-complain ka sa PhilHealth Board?
Valerie yata, I'm not sure.
Valerie
Holero.
Is Dr. Holero here? Or Attorney Holero? Andito. Are you familiar with this case? Please, come forward.
Come forward, please.
Na-administer kayo ng oath last time, ano?
Yes, sir.
Dito na
Okay.
kayo, baka,
Sige.
baka magtabigan pa kayo dyan. Dito na. Ay, naka.
Okay. How familiar are you with this case?
Sir, I have the whole transcript of the
Okay.
case and I
It's
listened to his testimony during that time.
Dala niyo yung transcript ng proceedings.
Yes, sir.
In a nutshell, wag masya, kasi ang kapal eh. Baka abot na 12. Ano lang, sige, please proceed.
In a nutshell, Dr. Gosenfiao said that he approached Dr. Lopez, one of our board members, and that that certain people from PhilHealth extorted money from him in exchange for the lifting of the stop claims order. So he mentioned 7 million in two tranches. Yun, sir. And then he promised to give us an affidavit, but we never got to that point, sir. There was a hearing in the House of Representatives, and Dr. Lopez also testified to that. I have the transcript of the House hearing here with me, sir.
In matters like that, sino ang office ng PhilHealth na dapat mag-imbestiga right away?
Sir, are you asking me po?
No, I'm asking the President. If any, Roy Ferrer, sino dapat?
It's the Fact-Finding and Investigation Division, sir.
May I, sir? Sir, lahat po ng kaso sa akin nag-emanate po sa Internal Audit Group, tapos FFID. Kinasuhan po ko lahat yan. Violation of a private code of ethics. Hanggang natalo po ako sa board. Lahat po yan. Parang ginawa ho lang batas yung private code of ethics. Tapos ginamit ho yun para kasuhan ako. Hindi lang ho yun. Etong pinakahuli ho, in effect na ho yung abuse of authority na punishable by jail. Ito po etong board na nahuli. Ayan po, titignan nyo, ginamit ko nila sa akin itong quasi-judicial revision of the IRR. Yung quasi-judicial revision of the IRR, hindi ho yan sinabmit sa Kung titignan po ninyo, wala hong pirma yan. Wala nakalagay na anong board resolution yan. Tsaka hindi ho yan sinabmit sa owner. And yet, ginamit na sa akin yan para taasan yung fine ko. So talagang pinag-initan ako
What is
ng
the
mga
result of the fact-finding?
Fact-finding po.
No, I'm talking to the PhilHealth.
Yes,
Ikaw
sir.
ba ang in
Please.
charge, Ikaw ang in charge?
No, sir. But
Sino?
during the time, the SVP for legal is Attorney Asuncion. The person is,
Yung humihingi,
according to him. Yes.
allegedly.
Ngayon, my predecessor was Attorney Jermaine Lim. But based on records, Your Honor, there was already a decision against Doc David before the arbitration office of PhilHealth. He's being fined for, I think, 2.6 million.
Initially, 70,000. Tapos naging 90,000. Pero in-increase ng board 2.6 million based on the quasi-judicial revision of the IRR na hindi naman published. Invento lang po yan. Talagang
Nonetheless, this is very disturbing to us. The allegations are fast and furious. how can he be fined? Can you explain this to me? How can he be fined 7.2 million?
Lahat-lahat po, 12 point something million. Lahat-lahat po yun.
Ang fine sa'yo?
Yes po, dahil po nag-violate daw ako ng private code of ethics. Can you please move it forward or back by one? Can you please move it back by one po, the slide?
Sounds to me like there's carpet bombing, no?
Ito po, titingnan ninyo, yung sinasabi sa akin, violation of Circular 19, yan po yung basis ng lahat eh. Ay ano, Code of Ethics of the Philippine Academy of Ophthalmology. Private po yan.
Yan ang ginamit sa'yo.
Yan po. Tapos may kontsaba pa po yan. Kung titignan yung Memorandum of Agreement, hindi magbabayad ang PhilHealth pagka hindi in-okay ng PAO.
Ibang PAO sumayad sa'yo, hindi?
Hindi, kalaban ko nga yun eh. Kasi sila yung naubusan ng pasyente.
Ha?
Sila yung naubusan ng pasyente dahil binagsak ko yung preso.
Ano binagsak ka rin?
Kasi po, kaya ako nagkagulo ng ganyan.
Baksak presyo, katarata lahat yan.
Hindi ho lahat, buong ophthalmology services. Kasi yung ginawa ko po, kasi nga, ang paniniwala ko po, dapat lahat ng tao may magandang serbisyo. Nagtayo po ako ng mga center, 3 eye center po yun, libre lahat, libre check-up, libre mga test. Kung magbabayad ka sa private ng 10,000 para sa test, sa akin, libre din ho yun. Makakasingil lang kami pagka may sakit, pagka may ooperahan yung pasyente. Ang problema mo itong PhilHealth, nagkaroon ng senior citizen law, di lahat na ng senior, libre, covered na ng PhilHealth. Tapos obligado ho kami, no balance billing lahat yan. So talagang, kasalanan mo yan ng PhilHealth na nagkaroon tayo ng no balance billing, tapos required ho kami na, mandated ho kami na mag-follow ng
you
no
make your
balance
point,
billing.
Dr. Goseng Piao. Ito, gusto mo pa ng sakit ng ulo, Mr. Chairman? Perpetual succor. Ito, walang yayo anomaly dito. Gumawa ng sariling PhilHealth Board resolution, inaamin yung batas na pinasa natin sa Kongreso. No? Anyway, if we have the time, I'd like to discuss the case. This is a case of extending period of confinement. This was included in my privilege speech, Mr. Chairman. No? Nagkaroon ng decision yung arbitration office, 10,000 pesos fine and 3 months suspension. Ang ginawa nitong perpetual succor, siyempre nag-appeal sa PhilHealth Board. Ang ginawa ng PhilHealth Board, in-upheld yung arbitration office nila. Sabi niya, tama yun, 10,000 and 3 months suspension. So natalo, pumunta ng Court of Appeals yung nagpetition, nag-appeal doon. The Court of Appeals upheld the decision of the PhilHealth Board. Fine. Nag-MR, na-denied. Aba, ito na ngayon yung PhilHealth Board. Ni-reverse yung Court of Appeals.
Let's complete the story. Nagpalit ba ng board?
The same board.
The same board.
Attorney Rodolfo Del Rosario, SVP Legal Sector, Attorney Jonathan Mangawang, Corporate Secretary PhilHealth.
Can you please raise your hand if you're here? Rosario, Mr. Mangawang, all right, go ahead.
After all this, you know where they ended up?
In London.
In London.
All right. Why did they end up in London?
I do not know. We got hold of the manifest. Nagpost pa sa Facebook. Look, yung monthly income ng Perpetual Succor Hospital, 30 million a month, no? Average. So merong 90 million. Pinalitan yung decision ng Court of Appeals that upheld the decision of the PhilHealth Board as decided by the arbitration office, and then they came up with PBR resolution number 2334, effectively amending the PhilHealth law para lang masut yung kailangan ng perpetual succor. So 90 million ang na-recover ng PhilHealth against a fine of 100,000 instead of 10,000. But maliwanag doon sa batas, hindi pwedeng gawin. Pero effectively, because hindi pa yon, Mr. Chairman, perpetual succor, yung lawyer, sumulat sa aking opisina. No,
Who's the
malinaw, sinasabi, word reach us. So may nagtip pa sa PhilHealth Board na ganito ang gawin nyo, nag-motion for reconsideration sa PhilHealth Board, ni-reverse ng PhilHealth Board yung Court of Appeals. Can you do that, Attorney De Rosario? You're a lawyer. Can you reverse the decision? And this is final, final and executory because nasa book of entries na ng Court of Appeals. Can you do that?
Mr. Chair, I would like to respond first, Mr. Chair, to the allegations that I'm not a PhilHealth Board member and I've never been to London, although taga-London din po ako, loan dito, loan doon. But hindi po ako, I was never been to London.
I never said that you joined the trip to London.
Okay.
Ang nasa London
Thank you,
si Jonathan Mangawang. Ano yan, may picture eh. Ayan, oh. It's a small world. Talagang it's a small world.
Anyways,
I'm not saying that you're there. You're not in the photograph naman.
yes, sir. Thank you for clearing that up, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
The legal opinion regarding the perpetual SOCOR was not my opinion. It was submitted to the board by my predecessor. So I was not part of the conversation. Now,
Sino yung predecessor ninyo?
Attorney Jermaine Lim, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. Now, during the deliberations, the decision of the PhilHealth Board, the MR was addressed to the PhilHealth Board.
Yes.
So it was the PhilHealth Board who deliberated on the motion for reconsideration. It did not went back to legal. The legal sector actually was the one who prosecuted this case, no? And we actually won the case before the Court of Appeals.
You won the case.
Yeah,
You won the case
Yeah.
because you were upheld.
Yes, we were.
And then you reverse your own decision
Yes,
as
sir. but-
upheld by the Court of Appeals. My question is
Yes, sir.
it not tantamount to grave abuse of authority or grave abuse of discretion? Imagine, you have a quasi-judicial power, no?
Yes.
Ang level ninyo parang RTC. Okay. Nagpunta sa Court of Appeals, in-upheld kayo. Why would you reverse the decision of the Court of Appeals na nagkaroon na ng entry of judgment? In fact, merong writ of execution. And then you reversed it. What do you call that?
Sir, the board can defend itself, but
How do you
if
defend
you're-
yourself? Well, there are plenty of lawyers here. Attorney Mike, can you help us out? Can they do that?
Well, ordinarily, kung final judgment, hindi mo na pwede.
Yeah, nasa book of entries na eh. Meron pang writ of execution. Oh, and you're ready to defend yourself?
I'm not defending myself.
No.
Defend
The PhilHealth Board.
Yeah. I stand by the decision of the board, Your Honor, since the legal, regardless of my personal view on the matter, since this is an official position of the legal sector, and the PhilHealth Board also have lawyer members during the deliberation, and they participated and they were asked about the.
And you were present during the January
Yes, sir.
10?
Yes, sir. I was present.
And the board was relying on the legal opinion of the legal sector, di ba?
Yes, sir. But
Oh.
that was the
Ikaw
previous
yun eh.
legal sector.
Ikaw yun. And you're telling us that you're defending the position with the board that was upheld by the
Yes,
Court
sir.
of Appeals. And yet, the board came up with a reversal, with a decision, reversing the decision of the Court of Appeals.
Yes, sir.
So what are you
Modified.
defending?
They modified the decision of the Court of Appeals on the ground of equity, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Anong equity? Final na nga eh. Sige, Dr. Liachon, please. You were also a member of the board at the time?
At that time, sir,
Oh.
pwede ho sumagot.
Sige.
May I ask the staff of... Sir, I was given the floor by Senator Locke. So, Mr.
Sige.
Chair,
I give
Mr.
the
Chair,
floor.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair,
You
may
have the
I...
floor.
Sorry. Can you flash it, please?
Yan muna, para malinaw. Writ of execution with forfeiture, 8 November 2018. Sige, please, proceed. Yan.
Sir, yan muna, sir.
Go ahead, go ahead.
You may proceed.
May sarili ka?
Meron sir akong slide po, sir.
Sige.
Pwede po, sir.
Dr. Dianchar, you want to speak?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. You may proceed.
So this is the case ng perpetual soccer. Next slide. Okay, next slide. Okay, so definition of terms lang, kaak po yun ang Court of Appeals po namin. Then you have the PhilHealth Board and then the motion of reconsideration. Next slide. Okay. So ang case po to 2011 pa ho. So may dalawang pasyenteng may go home na, hindi makauwi for some reasons na sila hindi makabayad, no? So yung nangyari dito, next slide. Ang naging parusa nila amounts of claims ay 800 pesos, one day extension sa 6,700 per patients. So ang decision ng regional vice president at the time, next slide. Ayan, ang verdict, ayan, may kasalanan kayo sa charter na yan, guilty and liable for 2 counts of extending period of confinement and 3 months suspension and 10,000 fine do sa perpetual soccer sa Cebu. Next slide. Next slide. So, ang nangyari yan, nandiyan ako sa board, March, 3 buwan pa lang. Kinary out namin yung decision ng Cebu. Tapos nag-appeal ang perpetual soccer, October 2017, dininay. Okay? And then, motion for reconsideration, nag-deny yung sinasabi ni Senator Lacson. Next slide. Alright. So, nung last year, November 19, 2018, may writ of execution na starting January 21 to April 20. At ito ang mga sinabi ng mga madre na sumulat kay Secretary Duque at sa board. 85%.
Madre. This is run by the Catholic Nuns of St. Paul's.
Oh, perpetual, sir. So for that is a congregation.
Yes, okay.
So 85% of patients are PhilHealth, only affiliate hospital of GSIs in the Visayas. They have 1,200 employees. If you implement the suspension, the revenues will totally be depleted. It has a loan of 600 million in the bank. They have an average of 80 dialysis patients who will be disenfranchised. And the appellant had been entirely doing the works of God for the people for 83 years. So next slide. So ang nangyari dito, noong December 10, merong sulat na nasa corporate secretary, yung madre. So on the day of
madre, Sister Rivero.
Seta Rivero.
Madre.
So sabi niya, so 3 days before the CAAC meeting, naisingit siya sa agenda because of the urgency na isususpend na sila from January 21, 3 months. Ang present doon, ako, ang chair, si Dr. Dineros, ako yung vice chair, Dr. Ferrer, and then the ASEC of DOH, Charade, and then Dr. Salvador, and then Dole, Attorney Jacinto Paras and Jonathan Mangawang. Right. Next slide. Now, it was the first time na pumasok doon si Attorney Charade kasi kailangan namin ng abogado. Wala kami abogado doon. First time din na pumasok si Yusek J. Paras. Kasi yung kaak ng puro doktor ho yun. So, kailangan namin ng abogado. And we think na urgent yun kasi isususpend yung hospital which will not be aligned with the universal healthcare law to provide delivery of services to the poor patients of Cebu. Next slide. Alright. So, ang present pa doon, si Atty. Laura, ang mga empleyado. So, the CAAC agreed to recommend. Hindi pa ho kami nagpa-final. Sabi namin, okay, elevate natin sa board. No? Yung sinasabi nagbiyahe, Senator Lacson.
December 14.
Opo,
Pagkatapos
sir.
ito.
Opo, hindi po namin alam nagbiyahe po yun. Yeah. Ngayon ko lang po nalaman po. Next slide. I think I have 2 final slides. Yan. So the basis of the CAAC recommendation, first time nawala siyang record. Ang corporate secretary, merong basis na yun based on the appeal of the madre. Only affiliate hospital. So basically ganon. In the spirit of equity, compassion. So next slide. Ito na yung day ng board meeting namin, 1st of 2019. Alam niyo po, Senator Lacson, 17 board signatories po yon. Ang ex officio, andun si Secretary Duque, pero may internal legal opinion po noon. Andun ho si Commissioner Balderosa, may abogado ho doon, si Attorney Jacinto Paras, for Secretary Bello, si Attorney Duok, nandun pa ho. Okay? And then, ito ho yung mga nakapula, ito po yung appointee members ex officio po doon. And next slide. Ito po yung pirma po, para makita po ninyo, pumirma yan. Pumirma po ako dahil tingin ko, tama naman po yung decision ni Secretary Duque po at saka yung ibang board in the spirit of compassion and equity. And then ito yung final slide po. Sige, next slide, Iho. That's my signature. I sign only when everybody sign. Kasi tinitingnan ko muna kung may abogado, tiningnan ko muna pumirma. Okay, next slide. Ngayon, naghabla si Attorney Roque last week. Ang tingin ho namin, selective prosecution. Kasi ang pumirma din naman ho, hindi lang naman appointed members, pati ex officio. And it's a collegial body of accountability. Yeah, and merits of justice and equity. Considering nakakaawa yun naman yung community, kung isususpend namin niya, which is not aligned with the universal healthcare law. Then did not simply do away with the 3-month suspension, but increase the fine to 10,000 to 100,000 as remitted to the perpetual succor.
Dr.
And then,
Lee,
sir,
excuse me,
Sorry.
the long and short of it, illegal lahat yung discussion nyo eh.
sir,
Whatever reasons, no? Maski anong discussion ninyo, meron ng finality yung decision ng Court of Appeals. Final and executory because may entry of judgment. Nandun na sa book of entries and merit of execution. How could you reverse the decision, no matter how many were you in the board at that time? Kung 17, 27, even 37? Court of Appeals.
yes sir. Sir, yung next slide na lang. Isa na lang po, sir.
Eh, mas kanong slide pakita mo ang
Meron po,
bottom
sir.
line dito.
Maan, isa na lang. One more.
Oh,
one
sige,
more.
sige, please.
Good. Man, one last slide. Please. Okay. Alam niyo po, Senator Lacson, kinalkal ko po yung data kung meron pong dati. Meron PBR 2067, March 30, 2016, chaired by then DOA Secretary Garin. And the board at the time, Corporate Secretary Valerie Holero, modifying a final judgment suspension order. And this was actually decided by the Supreme Court. And basically, for post-dating claims and breach of warranties and accreditation for 11 administrative cases. So we proceeded po. And I know, as a lay person, the Supreme Court is higher than the Court of Appeals. So that's why, sabi ko, kung in-overrule namin ng Court of Appeals, the previous chair at the time, meron din ganitong kaso, so it applies to this case. So hindi, as a lay person po, Senator Lacson, I'm not a lawyer, I was acting, and the doctors were acting in the spirit of compassion and equity and sense of justice. I relied on the top-notch lawyers in the board, in the internal legal opinion. That's why we signed it. Yun lang po, Senator Lacson. Salamat po.
Look, I delivered my privilege speech on July 29 of this year. July 31, I received a letter from Mercado, Jotina, Viajador, Bautista Content, and Pabriaga. Ito yung law firm ng Perpetual Succor. Paragraph 7, PSH, Perpetual Succor Hospital, accepted its fate of being barred from admitting PHIC members. So, tanggap na nila yung kanilang kapalaran. And then the succeeding paragraph, word reach us or reach PSH that an appeal may be filed with the new PHIC board. Oh, kayo nagturo eh. Anyway, I say no more, Mr. Chairman.
Well, you want to say something, Frank, Senator Draw? Go ahead, please,
Yun po ang,
Mr. Rustico
thank you.
Jimenez.
Yung pong sinasabi namin, if we can change the quasi-judicial power ng PhilHealth. Kasi po, sa every case, sila po ang prosecutor, sila po nag-iimbestiga, sila po nag-judge. Wala pong chance yung, remember during the last hearing po doon sa isang room, binanggit nyo na bakit natin isa-sacrifice yung mga pasyente. Kung doktor lang may problema, doktor sa PRC, bigyan ng kaso. Huwag natin suspend ang ng hospital kasi yung pasyente wala nang pupuntahan. In this case,
isang hospital lang ang mapupuntahan. Kung pwede lang po, maiba yung batas na lahat po sila ang naggagawa eh. Sila po nagpo-prosecute, sila po nag-imbestiga, sila po nagja-judge, and the final judgment, as sinabi nga ni Senator Lacson, yung board. Eh ito, batas na ginawa na po ng korte. Sa layman po, yun po ang tingin natin, hindi na po marirebase ng corporation lang na private. So in this case, lumalabas po, siguro over na po ng powers ng board ng PhilHealth. Pakiusap lang po yun, kung pwede po. I'm not a lawyer, so I do not know kung maiiba po yung law, ang ating batas tungkol sa PhilHealth.
Who are you, Mr.?
Mr. Senator, I'm Attorney Jonathan Mangawa,
You are
Corporate
Mr. Mangawa.
Secretary of
Yes.
PhilHealth. Two things, Mr. Chair. Let me just, first is on the decision.
Can you speak to the microphone? I'm about to make a comment on the case, but then I go ahead.
Yeah, two things, Mr. Chair, Mr. Senator. First, on the decision of the board on the perpetual software, please take note that the board is not insensitive to the needs of its members, including the dependents. So it is also aware of the effects of the suspension of a hospital on them. There was, in fact, a PBR 2334 in December 2017 that was passed by the board imposing maximum fine instead of suspension or revocation. There are two reasons for this. One is to ensure that our members will have continued access to facility of their own choice, and therefore members should not be allowed to suffer since they are not the ones
By
responsible.
members, you mean the premium payers, no?
Yes,
Nagbabayad. Sige, go ahead.
They should not be made to suffer for the offenses committed
We're
by-
aware of that. There's a balancing of interest.
By
Kung
the
nasaraan
hospital.
yan, hindi na makakapagpagamot yung mga tao.
And the second
And
reason,
it's the biggest hospital, as far as I know, di ba?
yes po, Mr.
Okay, go ahead.
Senator. And the second reason is we want to shift the effects of the suspension not on the healthcare professionals who are directly responsible for the commission of the offense. In the case of the perpetual software, it is the only private hospital in the whole of Region 7 offering or has been willingly contracted to offer C-benefit packages. C-benefit packages are for the catastrophic cases like leukemia, cancer.
Well, that's fine. No, that's fine. I appreciate what they're doing, all right?
Yes.
But upon the other hand, there is a finality of judgment of the Court of Appeals. No?
The board, Mr. Senator, was also guided by the legal opinion issued by our legal sector that the finality of judgment has exceptions. There are 5 specifically mentioned by the Supreme Court. So 2 of them, the first is whenever circumstances would transpire after the finality of the decision, which would render the enforcement of the decision unjust and inequitable. And the second exception is if it will serve substantial justice, meaning the modification
I was
of the
about to say
decision.
that. We used to go substantial justice. So go ahead.
So those are the considerations. And then PhilHealth also received about 200 letters from patients from perpetual software appealing that the decision be in favor of perpetual software. 129 letters from current and previous PhilHealth patients.
Proceeding from all that, and I'm sure they have got valid arguments, no? Na talaga nakakatulong naman talaga. Yung mga madre, hindi naman profit-oriented yan, di ba?
Yes po.
Hospital ng madre yan, nagsisilbi na matagal na, 87 years ba? 83 years. I mean, we do our homework here too, you know. So, ang masama lang na inaangal ni Senator Lacson, parang talaga kayo sinasabi ni Mr. Jimenez na kayo na lang ang bahala na gagawa ng desisyon. Sa akin, I would have gone back to the Court of Appeals at any stage of the action in a civil case, pwede magsabi ang parties na nag-enter tayo ng compromise na ayos. Did you do that?
No, Mr. Senator.
Or you could have gone to the Supreme Court and say, this issue has been settled, nagkaroon kami ng compromise. It's a procedural error, no? And the substantial justice thing here is that a lot of people would not be able to get the necessary support of PhilHealth para magamot sila. And then third, when you look down at the minimum thing, I think the Supreme Court or the Court of Appeals will look with favor upon it. Just my 2 cents worth, no? It probably has no value whatsoever. I'm just gonna.
Mr. Chairman.
Excuse me, may I just finish? No? Dalawang pasyente na ang original fine is 10,000. And when you if hindi nagmatigasan yan, eh, nawala ng problema. Nagmatigasan eh. Because of that, I think the compromise agreement is in order. Now, the next question I want to raise is, did you go at the expense of Sucor to go to London?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the opportunity.
No, don't thank me. Just answer my question. I was about to say an expletive. Excuse me. Go ahead. Answer the question.
My travel to London, together with Dr. Pargas, was on personal account. I, in fact, wrote a letter to the Office of Senator Lacson and had it received just this afternoon at 4 p.m. And let me just read for the record the letter. It is short, Mr. Chair. This pertains to your interview on DCBB on August 18, 2019, posted on YouTube with tagline Europe Trip, Reward for Questionable PhilHealth Actions, in relation to the ongoing joint hearing of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee and Senate Committee on Health and Demography. In the said interview, you partly stated, referring to the PhilHealth Board decision dated 10 January 2019 on the letter for reconsideration of perpetual software, Cebu, that, and I quote, ang nangyari doon sa timeline ay pagkatapos na baligtad ng PhilHealth Board yung Court of Appeals, ay may biyahe sila sa Europe. At least yung corporate secretary. Yun nga, circumstantial, pero wala naman tayong may papakita na kung sino gumastos sa biyahe. I want to clarify that my travel to United Kingdom from December 21, 2018 to January 3, 2019 was on personal account. The travel was made together with another PhilHealth officer, Dr. Israel Pargas. Our round-trip PAL ticket, Manila-London, Manila, were purchased on September 6, 2019 using his Citibank 2018 using his Citibank credit card for the total amount of 111,870 or 55,935 each. In turn, I issued a personal check under my land bank account to Dr. Pargas on September 13, 2018 in the amount of 56,000 as payment for my ticket. Dr. Pargas and I stayed for 12 nights in UK, 10 nights of which were all spent in London and the remaining 2 nights in Edinburgh. All throughout our stay in London, we stayed in the house of my former classmate in high school, who has been based there for many years and is currently employed as a nurse manager of an elderly care facility. My classmate was so kind to offer us free board and lodging during our 10 days in London, even paying for our transport pickup from London Airport to his house. For our travel to Edinburgh, which we decided to do when we were already in London, our plane fare and hotel expenses were both under personal account. Dr. Pargas booked our round-trip British Airways tickets, London, Edinburgh, London, using again his same Citibank credit card for a total of 347.80 sterling pounds. While I booked our shared hotel room for 2 nights using my credit card for 99 pounds or 49.50 per day pounds, equivalent to about 2,900 pesos per day. I have attached in my letter to Senator Lacson the PAL e-ticket receipts on September 6, 2018, the Citibank credit card statement of Dr. Pargas for September, my land bank statement account showing the ticket I issued to Dr. Pargas and the amount of 56,000 I paid, the British Airways e-ticket receipt, and even the Britannia hotel reservation for his reference. I'm willing to provide the good senator other details of my UK travel, including the name and contact numbers of my aforementioned high school classmate, subject to his permission, should the same be requested, Mr. Senator.
Thank you.
Alright,
Mr.
akala ko short yan letter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. All I'm saying is the timing is suspect.
Precisely.
Yun lang naman sabi ko rito eh. The timing is suspect. I even mentioned na wala namang proof talaga na ang nagbayad perpetual succor. Now, question. Ano yung date ng legal opinion? Legal opinion on whether a final and executory decision may be modified. Anong date po yun?
June 13, 2018.
June 13, 2018. Kailan nyo na-receive yung Court of Appeals decision?
The Court of Appeals decision was received not by my office but by the arbitration
September 18.
office.
So why would you discuss a legal opinion on whether a final and executory decision may be modified, wala pa naman kayo natatanggap ng decision ng Court of Appeals. In-anticipate na ninyo.
Mr. Senator,
No, answer my question. Why would you discuss a legal opinion based on a decision that you have not received yet? You have not been informed.
Mr. Senator, the PBR 2334, the
No,
policy...
there's no
Let
point
me-
of discussing
The question is
something.
answerable by yes or no. Nag-legal opinion kayo noong June 13, lumabas yung decision ng Court of Appeals on
September 18.
Three
No,
months later.
na-receive. Actually, earlier lumabas yung decision, but they received the copy of the decision on September 18. So how many months after they discussed the legal opinion, whether or not to modify a final and executory decision rendered by the court? Kindly explain.
Mr. Senator, the PBR 2334 was issued by the board on December 5, 2017.
I know that.
And then the corporate order implementing the PBR was issued on June 2018, after this June 13, 2018.
Kaya nga, lahat parang contrived eh. Alam mo, PB yung PhilHealth Board resolution effectively amended the PhilHealth law. Can you do that by a mere resolution? You're amending the law that was enacted by Congress and approved by the President? Kasi dinagdagan nyo eh. Fine or suspension or both. Ano sinasabi sa PhilHealth law?
Suspension or fine or both at the discretion of the corporation under RA 10606.
Anong sinasabi ng PhilHealth Board resolution? Fine na lang, di ba?
A maximum of fine, Mr.
Yun nga.
Senator,
Eh di binago nyo yung batas.
No, sir, because the...
No. Anong sinasabi ng PhilHealth Board resolution? Fine.
Yes, sir.
Anong sinasabi ng PhilHealth law? Fine,
Suspension or fine or both
Oh.
at the discretion of the corporation. In other words, the corporation can choose to impose only a fine or a suspension or both suspension and fine, Mr. Senator.
Yeah.
Does that preclude a compromise agreement? The law does not operate in a vacuum. At any stage of the action, especially in a civil case, ang thinking namin dito, ni Senator Dillon, at least we're both lawyers here, is not a compromise. Ang mali nyo, number one, dapat, did it prejudice PhilHealth? It started with 10,000, nagpamatigasan, umabot sa Court of Appeals, which is a waste of time and money for the government and for the people. Samantalang babalik sa inyo, at ang perception parang inayos na lalo, nagbiyahe kayo, although hindi naman sinasabi na sa reduction na binigyan kayo. The point is, ang probe na ito is to determine whether PhilHealth is really negligent, deliberate, katulad ng mga sinasabi dito, then ayaw namin malugi kayo. So far as I'm concerned, this is a private matter na kung meron talagang kaso, dapat kasuhan kayo sa ombudsman. Pag wala namang kaso at nag-compromise agreement kayo, the benefits that have been taken, for example, mas maraming makakapunta doon sa ospital, mababayaran rin yung PhilHealth, I think outweigh the consideration of the fine. Ang fine nyo is 500,000, no? So I'm not trying to insert my one. That's just my opinion, and Senator Lacson can have his own opinion on the matter. But to me, that is not the point here. The only thing that we want to find out here is whether it prejudiced the resources of PhilHealth and if this was done in aid of corruption. All right? So I would like to move on, if I may, Senator Lacson, para makuha tayo. Ang more serious sa akin is yung allegation na may naglalako na pagka na-fine yung isang doktor or mayroong problema yung isang doktor, pwedeng mahingi. Within the realm of possibility, nakakagulat, mapapine yung isang doktor ng 12 million. I'm not saying that all doctors are devils or angels, but it is not beyond my own ken to see that some doctors really, overcharge. But it's also not beyond my ken to see that there could be unscrupulous people in PhilHealth that will go after these people, that will go and take advantage of the situation. And my point is simply this. When I look at the totality of the numbers, walang criminal cases na file. That means may nag-aayos. May nag-aayos. Nakikita ko na mukhang kapos. No, but again, that's my personal opinion. And what we're really looking at here, we're not a court of law na ididemanda namin kayo, we will recommend ang findings namin, and it will be up to the Ombudsman or the Sandigan Bayan, and of course, this Committee on Health will also, together with Blue Ribbon, come out with possible amendments to the law, and perhaps yan ang gagawin namin. Now, to help you, ako right now, I'll tell you what I did in Customs last time. Sabi ko kuno kay Commissioner of Customs, we will check you again in 3 months. Pag hindi tumaas ang customs collection nyo, dahil sinasabi nga ni Senator Lacson, sinasabi ko rin, ang laki-laki na pumapasok sa China, pero hindi nyo ma-account, eh talaga naglulukuhan kayo. In 3 months, tumaas yung collection. All it needs, therefore, is close scrutiny, monitoring, and improvement of the system, and that's just a slice of what we can do to prove and to improve the system of PhilHealth. It is so precious, we must not fool around with it. And I would really like to have all of you take a look at this situation, because kung walang performance, dapat doon nyo titirahin yung mga tao nyo. At kung talagang nakikita nyo na yung mga doktor nagluluko, file the case. But file it in such a way na talagang malinaw na corruption occurred at saka talaga may damage sa PhilHealth. I don't understand why you have to change presidents every year. That's really something that is beyond my imagination. Unless it is being used as a reward para ng spoiled system. But this is something so sacred, we cannot fool around with the system. So all of us must put our heads together and find out how we can solve the situation. Are there any other things that you need to point out? Nakikita natin dito, yun, may fault yung PhilHealth doon sa WellMed. Hindi nyo malaman kung sino talaga magbibigay ng notice. I can cherry pick also na my own view, no? I can cherry pick. Bakit nagbibigay tayo ng 10 billion na reimbursement? I'm not gonna do that. To me, I want to move forward. I want to move forward and find out where we can fix the problem, because we will never, sabi nga ni Senator Lacson, we will never run out of omissions and faults. No? You create a crime by dolo or culpa, fault or omission. And as far as I'm concerned, I would like to see the Senate should be a very positive influence in bettering the government, as we have done recently. Very recently, when the President himself acted on the case of what is happening with the good conduct time allowance. And so today, unless there are other questions here, marami pa yan eh. And we have other documentation here. We would like to see if COA has a comment on this. Any recommendations?
Yeah, we've already, as I mentioned,
By the way, just as a caveat, we still have to meet with the Blue Ribbon on the case of GCTA after this. That's how hard we work here. Go ahead.
Yes, we've met already with General Morales, and we've already discussed certain parameters. I've also met with the COA team that will look into it. So right now we're looking at 6 different areas to conduct different types of audit. As I mentioned, actuarial life, it's going to be headed by Insurance Commission, and we'll just be supporting
For the record, we invited the SSS actually here.
Okay.
Pati siya nahilo. Ayaw niya na humarap because sabi niya, magulo talaga. But, I mean, tama yung direction niya. The Insurance Commission should be involved.
And then, of course, the fictitious benefits and other fraud cases, we'll be working with the NBI. They've already met with the auditors of PhilHealth. And so we want NBI to take the lead, and we'll be supporting them as they go on. So it's like a composite
On
team.
that note, may I respectfully ask the NBI to shake a leg and make sure that we catch some crooks here? Otherwise, you're planning more speculation. You don't want PhilHealth to have a bad name. It's developing like that. I don't want our investigations to lalabas masama yung PhilHealth na mamaya ayaw na magbayad ng premium ng tao. So, kailangan meron kayong mahuli.
Aside from the first case.
Apart from well-med, meron ba kayong iniimbestiga?
Yes, sir.
Oh, marami.
And the second case is about the accreditation, and we still have a lot of number of cases. In fact, it is not only the anti-graft division, we tap also the anti-fraud division and even the Office of the Deputy Director for Regional Operation Services.
As part of our oversight here, can I ask the NBI to brief the Committee on Justice and the Blue Ribbon Committee on the progress of every case that you're going to file?
Yes, sir.
As part of our oversight committee, may I ask Dick Morales to tell us what actions you're taking by way of making sure that you have a daily monitoring, cumulative service, computerizing all the things that you want to find out on the performance of every region?
Yes, sir.
So I can tell you, we can meet again in 3 months just to find out the performance, and we will try to make sure that the gauges or the desk, we can find out kung ano dapat natin makita. And we'd like to see na dapat the amount of money that is being given to you is well spent. We cannot afford na malulugi kayo. All right? Go ahead, Mr. Commissioner, Chairman.
Yes. And then there's also a special audit that will be conducted on yung remittances po. There are several issues relating to that with the accredited collecting agents. And then I was looking at some figures earlier. There are some regions na mas malaki talaga yung nababayad ng benefits kaysa nako-collect ng premium.
Yeah.
And of course, what we want to look at also, and this is related dun sa actuarial, is ano yung expectation nila in terms of how much should have been collected as against what is actually collected. Kasi makikita natin kung talaga may efficiency issue or underperformance.
It's like a roving corruption machine. Pag nahuli dito, lilipat dito. Papalitan yung cataract, papalitan ng pneumonia, papalitan ng pregnancy. Eh, yun dapat ang aalagaan ni Dick Morales ngayon. Titignan niya yan, di ba? So, talaga makikita niya kung talagang may nagbabantay. At gano'n rin sa mga medical profession, hindi naman lahat yan demonyo, at marami rin naman anghel dyan, pero dapat talaga mahuli yung mga tao dyan. Di ba? Anything else, sir?
You mentioned earlier the use of the case rate system, so we're hoping to do a performance audit to look at it, to see, what are the efficiencies, effectiveness, and the economies.
Just the case rate system,
Yes.
depending on
We won't recommend what to use. That's, I think, a policy decision. But we can provide data on how it's operated so far. Because I myself have heard anecdotal stories about medyo nagkakatean dun sa difference and all that. And in some cases naman, mas malaki naman talaga yung actual. But that's something we want to look at on a factual level to see efficient ba, effective, and that should help PhilHealth make a decision whether to continue case rate or do something else.
By the way, I would like the NBI to look at both cases. Yung case ni Dr. Goseng Fiao and the case of Sucor. Right?
Sir, yes, sir.
And give us a report on your investigation.
Okay, sir.
Moment, please. Would I be on the right path on that one para at least meron nangyayari?
Yes, sir. I will.
Para at least out of this hearing, we will get a determination kung sino ang mga guilty parties, kung meron man.
Yes, I would agree with you, sir.
Yes. Anything else?
Yeah, lastly, they mentioned the, I think you call it Midas? Yeah, we also have a counterpart system, and in fact, nung si President Roy pa yung nandun, we talked about that, to link our two systems. It's that system that was able to provide that report kay Senator Lacson that he was reading from earlier. So if we're able to really connect the systems and provide similar data, we'd be able to confirm some of the
deaths,
things they're able to spot in terms of like statistical anomalies, yung spikes and all that. Mukhang magagawa natin. And we can counter-check their data. So.
I think you're doing that right now, di ba? You're in the process of doing that right now. Para maging just in time, on time, all the time. Lalo na yung mga deaths, yung mga palagi nagkakaroon ng sakit na hindi ka nakahalata naman yan eh. Alright?
Yes,
Go ahead.
sir. Yes, I would like to add something, sir. Regarding ho dun sa mga incidents,
Sir Loyola,
ito,
go ahead.
barya-barya lang po
Dr.
yung
Loyola.
mga kwan po. Pero yung sa Maidas po, nakikita natin talagang marami yung mahuhuli dito.
Maraming
Mahuhuli. At kailangan po namin ng tao on the ground para ho makagather pa ng evidences. Then we may prosecute this.
without casting aspersion on anybody, I take that in good kwan, no? But without casting aspersion on anybody here, I don't agree that somebody should stay 23 years in one region. I think to prevent collusion or familiarity with each other, there should be a policy made that they can be shifted. Nobody has a franchise on one position. That's why that it will be one of our recommendations. I don't want to go anymore into other things because mahaba yan eh. At pag naghukay kami, madalo kayo mauto-trouble dyan, iisa-isayin natin yan. I don't want to make idle threats, but I think the NBI can handle that if they want to. Kasi dito, kung gusto natin may mangyayari, may mangyayari. Yes,
If possible, Mr. Chairman and the Committee of Blue Ribbon, kung pwede po malaman namin as a provider of funds to PhilHealth, kung saan po naka-invest yung mga sinasabi nilang magandang investment. Kasi po hindi namin nalaman yan where it was invested in several hearings sa Kongreso.
well, that is something that every citizen should know. And I think you do have a website, don't you,
Website.
sir?
Website.
We have a website, right?
Yes, sir, we have a website.
Pwede ba niyo ipakita kung saan
But it
napupunta
does
yun?
not reveal our investment portfolio, Your Honor.
You cannot?
I would need board approval to reveal that.
Okay, all right. But I think that would be a good policy para makita kung talagang tama yung ginagawa niyong investment. I would favor that. Mas transparent yan eh. And it's not because of the doctors, but to make sure that we know right away. It will make everybody walk carefully. Yes, Mr. Del Rosario.
I just want to put on record, Mr. Chair, that the Internal Legal Department of PhilHealth Central Office has filed 15 criminal complaints na rin. Ano po. So, yung sa regions naman po, in fairness to our regions, marami pong regions natin na wala pong abogado. But the good news is the GCG, through the chair, DAPIN, has approved hiring of additional 5 lawyer positions.
Does it have to wait for a blue ribbon investigation for you to act on something that you need? Kung kailangan ng abogado para mahuhuli yan, ba't di kayo manghingi?
Sir,
Every year there is a budget deliberation. If you need more positions, then tell us.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
You don't look good at the expense of the Senate because you are the ones. You have to fight for your, Nick Morales should fight for his agency. Alright? Tapos sisisihin niya kami, wala kami abogado. Kasi hoda kayo may gawa niyan. Kung kailangan nyo ng abogado, dapat magkaroon kayo ng abogado. Alright? Yes. Mga Mr. Mangawang, I'm giving you wide girth because sabi mo, nakawawa ka. Sige,
Thank you,
salita ka.
Mr. I just want also to put on record, Mr. Chair, that our legal sector has actually recommended to Region 7 PhilHealth the filing of appropriate case against the persons responsible for the falsification of the document in perpetual succor. So we await now the action by Region 7 on this recommendation by the legal sector.
So there was falsification there by the hospital?
By the persons responsible, by the personnel of the perpetual succor, Mr. Chair.
Personnel?
Of perpetual succor.
Paano kung dalawang kama lang ang issue dyan? Dalawang pasyente?
No, sir. The perpetual succor staff responsible for the falsification of the document. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Pero in confinement ata, 1 day lang yung isa.
Isa po, 1 day.
Di mamamatay na ng cancer, di ba?
Extended period of confinement.
Sorry?
Yung isa pong pasyente, 1 day extension. Yung isa po is 8 days extension.
8 days. Hindi malulugi yung penal doon. Pero kung talaga may falsification, file nyo.
Meron na pong recommendation ng legal sector
Falsification?
sa Region 7. Against not the patients,
Not the patient, but the
against
staff.
the staff of perpetual
But in-extend niya yung time ba?
for furnishing false information, Mr. Chair. Because under PhilHealth Circular 14, series of 2010, PhilHealth will only pay for the room and board from the date of admission to the date of order of discharge by the doctor.
Right.
And therefore, the hospital shall not include the dates from the date the discharge order is given to the actual discharge by the patient.
Have you ever been in a hospital? Have you ever run a hospital?
Fortunately, I have not been hospitalized.
I have. And I see it every day in my job, my other job that I'm not paid. Minsan talaga, you need plenty of compassion. So pag kami, 1 day, 2 days, kaya kami, we don't wait to be called. We just tutulong kami kung makakatulong. Alright? So, if you want to do that, make sure that you pass it on to the NBI and file the necessary falsification charges. Kung wala naman don't make it look like you're doing a job. What I want to see is if somebody is not filing cases when he should be filing cases, if you can see that they're not performing to par, you act. Lipat ka agad dyan. Investigasyon ka agad dyan, non-performing yan. Doon ang gusto natin because eto, extraordinary diligence ang gusto kong mangyari dyan sa and I'm sure every senator here will want that because pinaghirapan namin yan. It costs us political capital. Magtatax tayo ng tao para magkaroon ng insurance. Hindi naman naiintindihan ng tao na yung tax din ipupunta sa insurance. At magbabayad pa sila. Yes, last question.
Just to answer Dr. Rustico Jimenez about the investment, there's a committee of investment chaired by the ex-officio of the Department of Finance, and the last one is Sharon Almanza, and also from GSIS, and also a member, because previously I was a member.
What's the point?
The point, sir, is that it's transparent, and these are handled by competent financial persons.
Well, Dick Morales said, yes, go to the board. All right, so let's go to the board and do it right. Now, I'm not going to charge you attorney's fees for the soccer case, but I would advise you to tell your lawyers to go back to the Court of Appeals and make the information, or go to the Supreme Court and inform them that this has happened. And a compromise agreement here. And I think they will give you a wide swath. All right? Yes, Mr. Bellica.
Sir,
Commissioner Bellica of the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission. Thank you.
maraming salamat po, sir. Sir, we've heard a lot today, and we just like to manifest that the Commission will conduct its own investigation. Doon naman po sa amin, substantial evidence lang eh.
Yeah.
Pwede na magsibak. And moving forward, sir, I think after what we've heard today, a change from the inside will be very, very difficult. Ang kinakailangan po natin dito, sir, is really reform coming from the outside. Dahil it's really hard to say if anybody really knows how things run in PhilHealth after hearing all the justifications. Masyado po ang concentration ng powers. Sila nang paprocess, sila rin ang magre-release, sila rin mag-adjudicate. So, yung sistema, sir, talaga is what's killing us, and that's where we have to go.
That is something that the Congress can do something about. We can fine-tune the powers, clarify, define the powers very well, para there's no
yes, sir.
run around.
More than that, sir, I think yung PhilHealth board mismo, sir, kaya nilang gawin yan eh, on their own, while proposing legislation na kailangan nila sa Congress.
That's true. They can prepare themselves if they want to.
And
But if they don't do it, then we'll have to do it, di ba?
Yes, sir. Ang nasabi ko lang, sa amin naman, substantial evidence lang. Hindi naman kailangan marami, isa lang pwede na, sir.
Yeah.
And we will be, sir, I just like to manifest that when we do our investigation, we will be merciless to the corrupt and really just allow the axe to fall whoever it should fall. Maraming salamat po.
Good, thank you. I just want to, this is just, there's a finding by COA here, because siguro that triggered the question of Mr. Rustico Jimenez, that COA findings PhilHealth invested in common stocks. RA 10606 limits the investments to be made in preferred stocks. So only, and that it can be clarified. Is that true? Did you invest in common stocks?
Good evening, Mr. Senator.
Please
Right
proceed.
now, ang ating investment ay nasa government securities and nasa...
You don't have to tell me, delineate. I'm just saying, did you invest in common stocks or should you be investing only in preferred stocks?
Nasa preferred stocks, nasa corporate
sa
fund
common
tayo
stocks.
ngayon. Yung sa common stocks, last time, Senator, na terminated na through our local fund managers. Terminated na yun based on the recommendation of our COA.
So, sumunod na kayo sa COA. Is that true, Mr. Chairman? Please be brief because I'm really trying to catch after our own shadow here because we still have one more investigation here.
Your Honor, we have a
Identify
findings.
yourself, please, first. I can't see your name now. Para for the record. Sorry.
Rinaldo Darang.
Sorry.
Attorney Rinaldo Darang.
Okay.
We have a finding in our 2018 annual audit report on the investment of corporate bonds amounting to 14.3 billion. And there were two findings. Hindi pa rin.
What is your comment on the preferred stock? Sinabi nila they already stopped the operation the moment they said that COA called their attention to it and it's all preferred stocks now. Is that correct, sir? Mr. Limsanko?
Sir, ang sinasabi ko kanina, ang local fund managers natin for the common stocks ay terminated na based on the recommendation ng ating COA. So wala na po.
Answer yes or no.
Wala na po.
Wala na. Oh, sige.
Your Honor, we have no recommendation para ibenta yung common stock.
You have a finding that they're still investing in common stock?
There is.
Huh?
Meron sila, sir.
I think ang there's a difference in timeline. Kasi lumabas na yung recommendation, I think they sold it, pero hindi pa nila nakikita na nabenta na. So they haven't, because it's a cycle, di ba?
Yeah, of course. Tapos na ba yung cycle?
Your Honor,
terminated na.
June 2017, terminated na po yung ating common
Meron ba sa
common stocks.
2018,
Wala na po.
2019?
Wala na po.
So wala na talaga?
Wala na.
Yung sinasabi kasi nila, yung fund manager,
Dahil nga po dun sa recommendation of the COA, PhilHealth
Ano po natin? Ayan, sinabi niya na sa'yo. Pag nakita mo na meron pa, you come back here, they're liable for perjury or false testimony.
We will have to verify yung nabenta na common stock.
Senator Lacson is recognized.
I
will
don't know
recognize
if I am ending it on a light note, but I'd like to ask Dr. Gosing Piao. You're under oath, and I just would like to find out from you to confirm lang or deny itong report na na-receive ko. Ang kiniklaim nyo, 73 million. Nagbayad kayo kay Ed Asosyon ng 7.3, 10%.
Hindi siya nagbayad, hindi siya pumayag eh.
Anyway, Mr. Chairman, tatanungin ko lang kung confirm or deny. Nagbayad ka ng 7.3 million, pero nakuha nyo 38 million, kaya galit na galit kayo.
Sir, hindi po.
Bago
Negative
Yun
po.
lang.
Bago yan ha. Oh.
Alin po, sir?
Pati kami, niloloko nyo nata nito ha.
Hindi, sir. Yung isa kasi, 73 yun, pero before pa kami nag-usap.
Kasi ang kaso yata ni Dr. David, sa cataract yun naka-record, pero removal of warts lang yung kanyang ginagawa.
Wow.
Parang ganun.
Hindi po ganun, sir.
Yun lang naman information, kaya I'm asking
If I may, sir, para I need to clarify that, kasi kawawa
si
naman po
Secretary
ako eh.
Duque, mukhang may alam din eh.
Sir, actually po, full service po kasi kami. So we do cataracts, we also do wart removal.
So we don't do circumcision.
Ay, hindi po. Malayo na po yun sa mata.
You need to be ridiculous to me. Ay, doctor ka eh. Where you're doing warts. Kina-charge mo ba yung warts removal sa PhilHealth?
Yes, sir. It's covered po siya. Covered siya ng PhilHealth.
Baka kaya kahinabon lang Philippine Ophthalmology.
Ay, hindi po. Yung kanina po.
Answer
Yes,
the
sir.
question of, I think that's very pertinent. Nagagalit ka because yung charge mo 73.
Hindi po.
Let me finish. 73 million ang charge mo. Nagbayad ka ng 7 million, ang bumalik sa 38 million, may sukli ka pa, hindi mo pa nakukuha. Tama ba yun o hindi?
So, two parts yung ano mo eh. Two parts yung question mo eh. Kung nagagalit ako dahil kulang yung binayad sa akin.
Tinatanong ko, nagagalit ka, tinatanong ko, nagbayad ka ba? Nabayaran ba ng 7 million yung nangingi sa'yo?
Yes, sir.
Nagbayad? Kanina sabi mo, hindi ah.
Hindi, sabi ko, iba yung tanong niya, sir, kanina. Ang, sir, pwede pakiulit.
Teka muna, balik ka rin ko.
Clarify lang.
Nakasingil ba kayo ng 38 million?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Ang sinisingil nyo, 73 million.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nagbigay ka ng 10%, 7.3, pero 38 lang ang dumating, kaya galit na galit kayo.
Yun.
Ay, yun po yung tinatanong nyo kanina.
Yun,
Ang sagot
yun.
ko po doon, negative. Hindi po.
Ang hindi
Kasi
lang tama
po,
doon, yung nagalit kayo. Pero
Hindi
yung
po, hindi po.
nakasingil ng 38, tama. At saka
nakasingil
nagbayad
kasi
ng-
kami noon, before that pa. Before kami nag-usap ni...
So, sinisingil mo, umabot ng 38 million.
Ang nasingil.
Hindi po.
Nabayaran. Nabayaran.
Opo, pero before pa yun nung nag-usap
I don't
kami.
care if it's before. Nakasingil ka ng 38 million before.
Yes,
Correct?
sir.
Out of 73 na sinisingil.
Now, yung sinasabi natin ngayon, sinasabi ni Senator Lacson, naniningil ka ng 73 million. Tama? Nabayaran na yung 38 million. Hindi kasama sa 73 million yan. Tama ba yan?
Pardon, pakiulit na nawala po ako eh.
Nabayaran ka ng 38 million.
Yes, sir.
Magkano siningin mo originally para malinaw? Doon sa 38 million.
73 po.
73. So may balance ka pa, hindi nasingil. Pero nagbayad ka na ng 7 million na hinihingi.
After po nga yun nung nagsingil. Kasi po,
7.3 million.
yung time, iba po yung timeline eh. Yung sinasabi nga yung timeline eh.
Hindi ba? I don't care about the timeline. You know what you just did? Bribery.
Sir, hindi po. Extortion po yun. Talagang inipit po nila ako.
Kaya the facts are correct, di ba?
Po?
The facts are correct that I presented, no?
Ay hindi ho. Mali nga ho yung timing eh. Yung sinasabi ko nga
Hindi
po sa
timing.
inyo eh.
Wala akong sinasabing timing. Ang sinisingil ninyo, 73 million. Nagbayad kayo ng 10%, 7.3 million. Ang nabayad sa inyo, 38 million. Yun ang facts. Wala na
Hindi
yung
po
timing.
yun yung fact. Ang fact po kasi doon, bago, sumisingil ako ng 73 before that, tapos nabayaran ako dahil nag-usap na kami ni... Hindi po. Hindi po.
Sino ka nakausap mo?
Si OIC Aristoza before that.
Sino?
Aristoza po. Siya po yung...
Aristosa.
Siya po yung CEO at the time. Kasi naman po illegal nga po
binayaran
yung
mo
ginawa
siya?
sa akin. Hindi po. Nag-usap kami kasi nga, alam naman noon niya mali yung ginawa sa akin eh. Ngayon po, nag-partial payment siya, tapos wala na, tapos kinasuhan na nila ako. Tapos doon lumapit sa akin na yung si Attorney Asuncion, doon na siya lumapit na yung ang initial nga na usapan na ang initial na hiningi niya was 2 million lang.
Be that as it may, one question.
Yes,
Did
sir.
you give 7.3 million and change, more or less? 7.3 million.
Yes, sir.
You gave it to whom?
Asuncion.
Yeah, sir, may dumaan po kasi ang lumalapit sa akin po ibang tao po.
I ask you, you gave it to whom?
Asuncion nga.
To Attorney
Asuncion.
Aldon.
Magkasama yan eh. Magkabarkada yon. Si Asuncion.
Ayun po.
Ano you answer in your own words?
Ayun na nga po kasasabi ko lang po.
Look,
Aldon po.
I do not find this amusing at all.
Neither do I po.
Oh, well, do not argue with me.
Sir, not.
I'm telling you, just answer the damn question. You gave 7.3 million to Asuncion, correct?
Sir,
Yes or no?
Sir, I gave it to Aldon.
Aldon.
Yes, sir.
Who's Aldon? Bago na naman yan. Aldon Richard?
No, sir.
Ha?
Sir,
Alden yun eh. Tinaturuan ako ni Senator Lacson, nakakapanood pa siya kung di na nakakapanood. Ano? Sino yung Aldon na yan?
sir, siya po yung naging intermediary.
Walang family name yan? Family name niya, Aldon.
So yun na po yung family name.
Intermediary. All right. The chair directs the NBI to investigate this case. Hukayin nyo yan. Tingnan nyo kung ano liability ng mga taong ito. We're not gonna fool around here. Don't mess with us. I mean, I want cooperation here. I mean, you're not forthright. I will direct the NBI and give us a report within a week to find out, a week from now, to find out whether the case has moved. All right?
Noted, sir.
All right. Yes, Janet Garin.
Sir,
Focus
thank you,
on.
Mr. Chair. Dun lang po sa wart removal case, for the information of this august body, nung pong ako'y naupo sa PhilHealth, together with Secretary Duque, nung makita nga po namin yung wart removal na yan, agad po namin tinanggal sa board. And this is one area where PhilHealth is being depleted. Kung sino po yung nasa poder, pwedeng magpresenta ng packages na hindi naman kailangan. And I believe that should also be amended.
That's another area that we can
Yes, sir.
amend. Okay.
Yes, sir. So wart removal should not be included in health insurances.
All right. I was going to ask you a question. I will no longer ask you a question. You've charmed yourself right now. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, dalawa na kayo sa PACC.
Additional information, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to inform the committee that
Mr. Luna is the name of
former
the...
President Ferrer, Board Director Salvador, and former Acting President De La Serna, including Division Chief Granali of Region 8, have voluntarily submitted themselves to lifestyle check
Yes.
by the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission.
Voluntarily submitted
Voluntary.
themselves. Well, let me just say this. Now, I was surprised because 1 year lang si La Dr. Ferrer. I'm not saying I even asked him here. I'm very transparent. I asked him, kaupo nyo lang. Alam ko, malapit kayo kay President Duterte. Nilagay kayo dyan. Ba't kayo tatanggalin kung wala kayong kasalanan? Because the President probably reacts to the brouhaha that always occurs. Para wala na masabi ang tao, tinanggal na kayo. Are you guilty of anything that should prompt the President to take you out? All of you, sabay-sabay? Do not shake your head.
Yeah, we're not guilty of anything, sir.
That's why you submitted yourself to...
Yes, yes.
All right, very good. All right, thank you. Anything else?
Sir, we would like to tell you that we even delivered good numbers to the PhilHealth with that net income of 11.6 and with a turnaround time of 17 days. And all of this because of our the work, we work diligently on PhilHealth.
All right. Without adjourning, I will merely suspend it because I'm going to wait for other reports from NBI and from recommendations from Dick Morales, the president of PhilHealth, as to what kind of improvements you're going to make prior to my submission of a report, our submission of a report on what we're going to do with PhilHealth. But rest assured, I'm telling you, this is not the last time we're going to do PhilHealth. PhilHealth is too important a cause, too important an agency of the government to be left alone by itself. Because if we leave it alone, then mawawala ang tulong sa tao. On that note, I would like to thank you all. I'd like to thank our colleagues here. I think the Senate does its job very well, and we could use more cooperation. Thank you all very much. And we will announce the next meeting at the proper time. Thank you all very much. Session is suspended.
Masasabi sa inyo.